Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to talk about the pie chart and the donut chart. Starting with the pie charts are circular, statistical graphic that visually represents the proportion or percentage of a whole. Each segment or a slice of the pie represents a different category or value. With the size of each slice proportional to the quantity it represents, this visual format is effective for illustrating the distribution of data and identifying the relative contribution of each category to the total. Pie charts are particularly useful when you want to compare the different parts of a whole and also understand the composition of a data set at a glance. However, they are best suited for displaying a small number of categories, as too many slices can make the chart difficult to read. If we talk about the donut charts are a variation of pie chart, featuring a circular shape with a hole in the center. Like pie chart, donut chart represents the proportions or percentage of a whole, with each segment representing a different category or value. The hole in the center allows for additional information or context to be displayed, such as the total value or key metrics. Donut chart offers a visually appealing way to showcase the data while emphasizing the total value, making them useful for presenting the data in a concise and informative manner. Let's go to the Power BI screen and see how can we create these kind of visuals. So to create a pie chart, I have this option of pie chart over here. I will click on it and just expand it. Now to create a pie chart, first of all, you need different chunks of slices. So I'll be choosing some categories over here and I can drag and drop this categories over here. Or if you don't want to do it, what you can do is you have this data part over here. So you can drag and drop this category on legends. Now for values, I want to see the distribution of profit in these categories. So for that, I will scroll down and I will use this profit option and I will put it in values. So now I can see what amount of profit is each category making. If I just put it in the focus mode, you can see over here that particularly furniture is giving us a profit of 285.2 thousand. And if we talk about the technology, it is giving us a profit of 663.78 thousand. Now, this is fairly simple to view when we are talking about only certain parts of this pie. Now, let's say that if we try to increase the number of the slices over here, what would happen? So, as we are trying to increase the number of slices, it becomes very difficult for us to view the data. This happens because visually we are not able to find the difference between multiple slices. So, let's say if I'm again creating a pie chart on the new page, I will again use this pie chart, expand it. Now I want to see the distribution of my profit in various subcategories. For that, I will drag and drop these subcategories on the top of legend and I will drag the profit in the values. Now you can see it is very difficult for me to view the difference in multiple subcategories over here. So ideally, whenever you are having 3 to 4 distributions, you can use this pie chart. But if there are multiple distributions, then it is not ideal for us to use the pie chart. As you can see over here, these colors are representing some of the subcategories and it is very difficult for me to view this and make out some inferences on from it. So over here I have this supplies as well, which is contributing 1.47 percentage in the total profit, and also I have this fastener which is contributing some 0.75% of the overall profit, but the slice seems fairly equal if I am visually looking at it. So coming back to the pie chart that we created earlier, so over here if I want to see the total profit, I can use this pie chart and then I can see the distribution of each of the categories with the help of different slices. Now, what are the different kind of customization options that are present in it? So for that, you can select this and go to format your visual option. The first one is the legend part. So over here on the right hand side, I have different legends, which is showing me that what each color is representing. I have technology, office supplies, and furniture. So over here, if you just expand this selection, right, the first part is the position of this legend. So right now it is on the center right, but if you want to change the position of it, you can click on it and you can choose any position. Let's say if you want to keep it over here on the top left side, you can use this top left side, and I can give multiple other positions as well. Let's say I want to keep it as bottom center. If you don't want this legend to occupy some of the space, and if you want to show the categories over here inside the chunks of each slice, what you can do over here is you can just collapse it and you can go to the slices. Over here, the first option is that what is the color for each of the slice that you want to give. So in this case, if let's say I don't want to show the technology as orange, I can click over here and I can change the color to, let's say, this shade of purple. So I can easily do it with the help of this colors part. Now, when I have this detail labels option, here it would ask you that what would be the position of this detail that is being shown. So right now I know the detail it is showing is the sum of the profit for each of the category, and it is kept as outside. If you have too much space over here inside, what you can do is instead of the outside, you can use this inside portion as well. Now, what would be the value that is represented in this detail label? So let's say if you want to show this category as well over here. So for that, you can use this label contents option. I have multiple values in it. The first part is the category. It would only show me the categories. Then I have the data value, which would only show me the exact value of the profit. And also I can only choose to see the percentage. Then I have the combination of all these threes one by one. So the first one is the category and data value. The second one is the category and percent of total. Then I have the data values and percent of total. And the last one is all detailed labels. So in that, it is very easy for me to identify that furniture is giving me the profit of 285.2 thousand, and which comprises of 19.44% of overall profit. So in that case, you don't need this legend because already you are having this categories label inside of the each slice. So what you can do is you can scroll up and you can turn off this legend, and this would save some of your space when you are creating any kind of report. So in this way, you can do the customization in your pie chart. If you go to the general option, you can make the changes to the title. You can choose to show any kind of effects over here. Let's say if you want to give borders to your visual, you can easily do it with the help of borders option. You can provide any kind of background, and also you can give some shadows to it. Now, if we talk about the pie chart, it is also similar to the donut chart, but the only difference is that in donut chart, there is a circular hole in between. So if I just press this back to report, click on the new page, and here I will show you how can you create a donut chart. So again, for the donut chart, I will use this donut chart option. Click on over here, expand it, or maybe just put it in focus mode for now. Now the first part is legend part. So for legend, again, I will use this category. For values, I will use this profit again. Now you can see it is similar to the pie chart that we created earlier. Again, you can go in the formatting option and you can do different kind of formattings. Like for example, what should the slices represent? So if I go in the slices, I can change the color of it. And also I can choose the detailed label. So if you want to show this label inside, you can also do it. Now we also have some detailed information for these kind of charts. So I have this details option. Now I know that every category has some subcategory inside of it. And I want to see the distribution of each category in terms of different subcategories and what are the different subcategories contributing in terms of profit. So in that case, I can go in the subcategory option. I can drag the subcategory on the top of details. And you can see each of the slice is now divided into multiple parts depending on the subcategories that are inside those categories. So in this case, I can see these data values and it would look good outside only. If I try to put it inside, it won't look good because there are some smaller slices as well, and that could cut out my different values and I won't be able to see those values in a detailed manner. The same things we can also do with the pie chart. So if I again go to this page 5 where I created this pie chart, so again, if I select it, I want to do the same kind of thing that I did to the donut chart. So I have this detail option. You can put the subcategories in the details. Now you can see if the data labels are inside, it is too cluttered and I'm not able to see the values clearly. So in that case, I have to go in the format your visual option, go in the detail labels, and instead of inside, I will use this outside option. Now I can see these values clearly. Now, let's say if you don't want to see the multiple subcategories performance inside this slices. So instead of putting the subcategories in the details, you can also choose to show different kind of markets. So for example, I'm choosing this visual again, and I'm using this market option. So select this visual and in the details, just drag and drop this market part. Now you can see how these categories are performing in different markets and what is the share of different kind of profit in that. Now, since these categories are repeated in every market, so you can see that every market is repeated thrice. Africa region is repeated thrice for each of the categories, and same with the other markets as well. So this would make our pie chart too much cluttered. And again, we would be having too many things to view in the smaller chart. So we should avoid these kind of things and we should keep it fairly simple for 3 or 4 values only. So this was the way in which you can create the pie chart and also the donut chart, and you can then customize these charts. So in the next session, we will be talking about the tree maps. Thank you.